What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video on Scott's EDC and such. I just got done filming a review for the Mill Vienna Roast Coffee Medium Dark Roast. If you haven't checked that out, please do so. If this one doesn't come out before that one, we'll see. And it's quite delicious. I'm drinking it out of my Junkyard Fox camping mug. Delicious. A little bit of a spoiler alert for you. And speaking of Junkyard Fox, here I have a mail call from the man, the myth, the legend himself, James Harris over at Junkyard Fox, with a little bit of a gift here. Mail call awesomeness. And you do see wood steel knives here. This is not from Wood Steel Knives. I'm pretty sure James just reused the box. But in here is a gift from James, which essentially was just for helping out the channel in as many ways as I could for several years. And this is it's not a brag or anything like that. It's just I love the channel. And when it comes to content creators that I really love, like Junkyard Fox, like Prepared Mind 101, I try to support in all the different ways that I can. And I'm not going to sit here and list what all of those are, because then I would be bragging, which I'm not doing. But I had reached out to James about purchasing a different knife that I thought that he'd had for a collection of knives that I'm trying to put together, and he didn't have it anymore. And I was like, bummer. And he's like, but I do have this thing, and I've had it for a while, and once I get the review done for it, I'll send it out your way as, you know, thanks for helping out the channel over these several years, and so on. So that's a little bit of the background for how the package ended up here. Let's go ahead and get it opened up so that we can see what is inside it. And like we saw in a previous video, review still coming for this. This is the Savivi Mini Praxis. Still love this thing. Still great action, great edge on it. Still looking dirty. Because every time that I use it, because it is D2 and it doesn't have a coating on it, I do put some food safe oil on it, so it kind of looks a little bit funky, but it's clean, I promise. I clean it every time after I use it, which means I'm going to have to clean it now because I'm opening up mail, and mail's kind of gross. So let's go ahead and get all this opened up. And we got one more over here. Okay, and see, I don't like using my nice knives to get tape off, but we'll deal with that. Just close that. Okay. All right. So let's get this opened up. Let me just make sure that there's not a packing slip of some kind with my address on it in here, because that would be interesting. Looks like there's a little note that says Scott. I have no idea what it says yet. Okay. So there is that. Here's the nice box. We'll get that out of the way. And let's get this opened up. Let's see what this says. I'll try and give it a quick purview to make sure that it doesn't say anything too personal or something in it. Can't imagine what it would say that would be too personal, but looks like we've got, oh heck yeah. So we've got some kind of sticker here that I don't recognize. Maybe this is an upcoming design for the Junkyard Fox channel. But it says, keep nature wild. And let's zoom in on that a little bit. Keep nature wild. And that just hits home for me, because that there looks like a German Shepherd. And I love German Shepherds. I've had 2 of them. Still got one right now. I love them. This is definitely going somewhere special. I usually put my stickers on my laptop, but I think it's ending the ending its lifespan. So I'm gonna find somewhere else that's gonna be long lasting to put this guy. And then this piece of awesomeness here, it's a focus. It's a Cuervo Negro guitar pick. How cool is that? I knew that they were going to be / were making these, but I'd never seen one yet. So this is pretty cool. I was not expecting anything extra whatsoever. I mean, he already sent me this thing, which was way, way generous already. But that is pretty awesome. You can feel the texture of the ravens on there too. Pretty freaking great. I wonder who they have do these. This is awesome. And I apologize if you see some stuff on my fingers. Again, I did that coffee review and I think I got some coffee stuff on me. But thank you. These were great. On top of what you already sent over, these are great. Focus. There we go. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna need to figure out, maybe this will inspire me to pick the guitar back up. Played for years, haven't for years, but maybe this will inspire me to pick it back up. Moving on. Let's take a look at this note. Make sure again it doesn't say anything too personal. Okay, nothing too personal, so we'll go ahead and read this. This is from James. It says, "Hey Scott, sorry it took so long." Don't apologize. Don't apologize. And finally sending you this blade. It is an absolute. That was me. That was me not reading it well. It is an outstanding bushcraft knife. I also sent a very rare Cuervo guitar pick, which we saw, and a Cool Dog camping sticker I bought at a cool shop one time. Not official Fox merch. So that answers that question. It's not an upcoming Junkyard Fox design, but thank you. Yeah, I don't even know if he remembered that I have German Shepherds or not, but there you go. That works out really well. Thank you for your endless support and friendship. May this blade join you in many adventures to come, James. Well, isn't that just sweet? Love it. Love it. It's crazy to think about. I won't go into all of it, but I have made so many different friendships and connections and learned so much in so many different genres and avenues over the years through YouTube. I have my business completely separate from this channel because of YouTube. So many business people I know from YouTube, amazing channels that I've learned amazing things from, like James from YouTube. YouTube's been pretty great. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. And I'm not sure what this is. I might have to save this to send something out to someone else at some point. Seems like some kind of just cardboard wrapping. I don't know if this came from the store or what. I was wondering if let's get this out of the way. I was wondering if he was going to send it with this or if he was going to put it in something else or just send the blade itself. But this is the Mora Garberg leather sheath. This knife that we're going to take a look at here in a second does come with a JRE Industries leather sheath. But if memory serves right, James had a friend or someone that needed a sheath, so he gave them that JRE Industries leather sheath that came with this knife and ended up using the leather Garberg sheath for it instead because, you know, one knife, two sheaths doesn't really make a whole. I think he may have gotten both of them just to show them for the channel. I'm not sure. But you don't need two sheaths for one knife, so he took this one and used it for this knife here, which is... I'm really excited about this. I've liked this knife since he showed it off in the very first camping at home during lockdown stuff video that he did. The first one where it was just him, not Cuervo, if you guys are Junkyard Fox fans. And if you're not, you need to go subscribe because it's really, really, really great content. And this beauty right here, get you out of the way. This is the LaRocca Kumppani blade. And I will put, let's go ahead and I'll put some stats over here on this side for you guys to see. But this is a very nice blade. I've held expensive knives before, $200-$300 knives before. I love those knives. I also love really cheap knives. And this just, that just feels really, really good. I'm not worried about not having that guard there at all. Oh, that feels really good. Really, really good. Of course, we got some, if you guys have used leather sheaths, you know, no matter what, there's there's leather stuff that's coming off your blades every time that you pull it out of the sheath. Really, really well done finish. Super smooth. You can't tell where it begins and ends. This spine is crazy sharp. And by the way, this is not a new knife. James had this knife for 4 years before he did the recent review, which I will put up in this corner. I believe it's this corner. If it's not that corner, it's one of the others. But he had that knife for 4 years before doing this review, something like that. Got it towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. So, like, I'm sure that the designer of the knife would have liked to have had a review out right away. But at the same time, the fact that James has had and used this, which we can see from the video that I was talking about before, the making the best of it, camping in the backyard, so to speak, video that he did during lockdown stuff. The fact that he's been using this blade for 4 years and it still looks fantastic. There's no, again, I can barely tell where this begins and ends. The scales aren't coming loose, which I have seen with some other brands over time. I think that this is, I mean, what do I say? What do I say? James has sent me this $200+ knife just because. And I don't support the channel for things like this. Yes, the Patreon, which is one of the ways that I try and support, is they have the monthly giveaways. But that's not why I do things like that for content creators that I like. I do it because I want to watch more videos. Because I'm a YouTube junkie. I watch so much YouTube, and if I can give a couple of bucks and do this thing here and there to make sure that I have something awesome to watch later, then that's what I'm going to do. Let's take a quick drink of coffee here. So James, man, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is incredible. From the very first time I saw this knife in that video, the backyard camping video, which I'll try and put in here as well, with a card for you guys to click on, I think, up there in this corner. I was like, that's a great looking knife. There's just something about this blade shape. I'm not even sure what to call it, because it's like clearly just a straight up sweep here. There's nothing super fancy going on, but there's something about this slight hump and then the drop and the point that just makes it different. Just makes it different. I really, really like it. And I do like how it looks used, because I tend to use my stuff. As you guys saw with the mini Praxis, it doesn't look super shiny and everything else. It's got a little oil residue on it because I use it. There's a, I think it's Best Damn EDC's channel that says hashtag use your shit. And I agree. Use it. And this knife has definitely been used, but it is none the worse for wear. I mean, this is... I know that it looks like there's a lip there in the camera from what I am seeing, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. This LaRocca Kumppani is great. Super, super smooth. I believe that these are micarta handles. It's got a nice little swell there in the center. It feels really good. And it's definitely, unless you're doing something crazy, just feeling that spine again. Unless you're doing something crazy, this blade is not coming out of your hands. It's just not. That swell really locks it into place. Really, really locks it into place. And it's in the perfect spot, right where the center of your palm's coming into play. To where your fingers are out of the way. If you wanted to, you could get your thumb up here for push cuts while doing a figure 4 or something like that, like James showed in his recent review of this knife. But man, I don't know what to say. This knife is incredible. Incredible. Our pins here, again, super smooth. Can't hardly tell where they begin and end. Still sharp. I mean, again, sorry about the coffee stuff on my hands, you guys, but hey, coffee is life. So James, once again, thank you so much. This will definitely see some time. Maybe I'll do some outdoor filming as far as barbecuing, something like that goes, and use this knife in that process, because when I barbecue, I don't use propane, I don't use charcoal briquettes, none of that. I take weeds and stuff that are growing around my yard that are dried, wood that's been chopped down in past years from our trees in the backyard, and I start a fire with either a magnifying glass or whatever it happens to be, ferro rod, and I cook with fire from stuff from my property. So maybe we'll use this knife to do a 1-stick fire with some wood that grew on my apple trees, and or the plum tree, whichever, and do some burgers. Something like that, or some steaks. I think burgers. I don't know why. Fill in burgers. But thank you so much, James. I really, really appreciate this. I don't know what to say to a gift like this. This is crazy, crazy generous. And hopefully any contributions that I've made to the channel were worthwhile to deserve something like this. I'll definitely be continuing to support the channel because, again, I want more videos. James, why are you watching this video and not filming one? Shame on you. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. But incredible, incredible, incredible. Let's go ahead and get this guy back in its sheath, or back in the Garberg sheath, if you will, which it fits in really, really nice. Get that all buttoned up, and I don't know what to say, man. Thank you so much. This is crazy. I will be doing more reviews for knives. Again, we'll have the mini Praxis review upcoming. I recently picked up during Prime Day the Through Night Saber, which is a AA/14500 incredible little light, which we will talk about more in the future. I really, really like this one. There's some stuff that I have to say, but overall really great. So point being, more reviews are upcoming, and until next time, insert video outro for this channel that I haven't come up with yet. Thank you, James. Appreciate you, brother.